The national sport of Pakistan is hockey, but still, Pakistan is one of those countries where cricket is loved the most. With a population of approximately 45% cricket fans, Pakistan ranks second in the world after India on the social platform X. India has the largest number of cricket fans, with approximately more than 1 billion and 2.5 billion worldwide. Due to this massive number, the humble truth is that the BCCI is the richest cricket board today in the world, surpassing all others. Now, where does the BCCI spend this money? To find out, let's take a view of the history of Indian cricket.
Sixes and an over. Yes, Richest takes it! India win! First man on the planet to reach 200. Sachin Tendulkar.
He lifted it up. That is a shot of an emperor.
Absolutely magnificent.
India's team was one of the weakest in the world. The BCCI was unable to pay its World Cup winning team, and England was considered the king of cricket. On 22nd June 1983, the greatest upset occurred when India beat host England and reached the final. The final on 25th June 1983, between West Indies versus India, marked the turning point.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the day of the finals here at the Mecca of cricket, Lords, where the underdogs Indians will take on the mighty West Indians.
The previous two World Cups were won by the West Indies in 1975 and 1979. However, for the third time to win the World Cup, they had to face India. Before the match, odds makers favored West Indies at 66 and India at only 1. Yet, India won. Can you believe that?
Yes, it's all over this time. A couple there to receive the trophy from Lord Carr, chairman of the...
Lords goes wild.
Wisden Sports magazine's chief editor, David Frith, famously wrote in his article, "A team like India should not play in this tournament if they have not improved. And if a team like India wins, I will eat my words." And guess what? He kept his promise and ate his words. This one event changed the cricket map, making India the king instead of England. India then used the sport as an ATM, focusing more on money than making the sport more interesting.
Humble truth here is the BCCI is the richest body today.
When BCCI President NKP Salve requested ICC for 2 extra tickets for a higher-ranking Indian minister, he was denied, as they had already provided tickets. This denial highlighted that cricket was still under British control. The British founded cricket in 1909, growing the sport and making it more competitive by hosting the World Cups. However, it was only in 2019 that England won the World Cup trophy for the first time. This historic win gave NKP Salve the confidence now was the time to steal the British's own game. Initially, he befriended the Sri Lanka and Pakistan cricket boards and formed the Asian Cricket Committee, over which ICC had no control. In 1984, they arranged a tournament between Asian teams named Asia Cup.
Keith, I believe everybody here at the ground and watching throughout the...
But BCCI had no money to host a World Cup. Initially, he approached the Pakistan Cricket Board, proposing to host the next World Cup together. Then, with the help of Indira Gandhi, contacted Mr. Ambani. At the ICC meeting, he proposed that India and Pakistan should host the next World Cup. Before this, there was no rule that a new nation could host a World Cup every 4 years. ECB responded skeptically, but eventually they agreed, and the 1987 World Cup was hosted by India and Pakistan. BCCI didn't make any money even after winning the 1983 World Cup. Turned out that 1991 was their lucky year, like finding a golden goose. The South African cricket team was returning to international cricket after 21 years and played their first 3-match one-day series against India.
Historic occasion in South African sports, South African cricket is returning to official international cricket after 21 years.
BCCI's administrator, Jagmohan Dalmia, sold broadcast rights of that series to a South African state-owned television channel for 200K, with the advice of South African sports administrator Ali Bacher. Now they had this golden goose of television rights. In 1993, India sold broadcast rights to England's tour of India to a broadcasting company, TWI, for 600 kl. In the same year, TWI bought Hero Cup's rights from BCCI for 550k. In no time, BCCI became the richest cricket board in the world. According to the rotational policy, England would host the 1996 World Cup. Mark Mascarenhas, a broadcaster, made an offer to BCCI. If India hosts this World Cup, then I can give you $14 million for broadcasting. BCCI offered more guarantee money than England to associate teams and got the hosting rights for the 1996 World Cup. When in the 1996 World Cup, Australia and West Indies refused to play their matches in Sri Lanka, BCCI Administrator Jagmohan Dalmia thought ICC's next chairman should be an Indian. But ICC was run by the British because the president of MCC always became the president of ICC. However, elections started happening for ICC chairmanship, and Clyde Walcott, who was the West Indies Cricket Board's candidate, became the first non-British chairman of ICC. In 1997, BCCI President Jagmohan Dalmia participated in these elections, and he won. But how? So BCCI bought tickets for these representatives of associate teams and booked hotels, even hosting a dinner party for them before the elections. When the elections happened, he won. Now, an Indian was the boss of world cricket. Cricket was played at the Olympics 123 years ago, at the 1900 Paris Olympics and the 1998 Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur. After this, in 2008, during the Beijing Olympics, Australian cricket team captain Steve Waugh, who was part of the World Cup winning team in 1987, said that cricket should be globalized by including more countries, and the Olympics is the fast-track way. Curiously, cricket's absence from the Olympics until now is also due to BCCI's resistance. The BCCI's objection has consistently centered around the fear of losing member autonomy in the face of the International Olympic Committee. Essentially, there was concern that their control over the ICC would be diluted with the inclusion of the International Olympic Committee. Deciding match schedules and redistribution of financial costs would no longer be within BCCI's purview. Port Elizabeth Test, 2001, India versus South Africa.
Welcome back, folks. This the second test match between India and South Africa here at Port Elizabeth.
This was the second match of the three-match test series. But when match referee Mike Denise suspended 6 Indian players, including captain Sourav Ganguly, and 1 test ban for excessive appeal,
Denise fined and suspended 6 Indian players for their actions during the match. Captain Sourav Ganguly didn't escape punishment.
the most shocking allegation was leveled against star Indian batsman Sachin Tendulkar for ball tampering.
This is the vision that has ignited cricket's latest controversy. Sachin Tendulkar shown running his fingers along the seam of the ball on day 3 of the second test against South Africa.
BCCI told ICC these bans were wrong. We don't want Mike Dennis as a referee for the next match. ICC didn't listen to BCCI at that time, and India and South Africa played the third test without ICC's permission, which ICC declared an unofficial test.
In terms of countries' records or players' records, there won't be Test Match Championship points awarded.
Do you know why South Africa complied with BCCI? Because BCCI had threatened the South Africa Cricket Board. If you don't play the next test, you won't get your money for the broadcast rights. About a year before the IPL kicked off, the Indian Cricket League, ICL, was established. Notably, it was initiated by the private company Zee Entertainment Enterprises. The ICL shared a concept similar to the IPL, but it didn't receive recognition from the BCCI. The BCCI was displeased with the growing number of cricketers joining the ICL and took measures to dissuade players from participating. They increased salaries for players in their domestic tournaments and issued a stern warning. Anyone playing in the ICL would face a lifetime ban from BCCI tournaments. BCCI did not want a cricket league that it could not control. In September 2007, the BCCI introduced its own league, the Indian Premier League, IPL. It's the second richest sports league after NFL in the world, worth more than $15 billion. Every cricket board has made its cricket leagues around the world. But BCCI doesn't allow their global fan-following players to play in these leagues.
In all of these leagues, Indian players who have a global fan following are not allowed to play. That's the rule.
BCCI knows if Indian players play in these leagues, the value of these leagues might increase. And if their value increases, it might dilute the power of BCCI. When ICC's former CEO Haroon Lorgat took premature retirement from ICC because of differences of opinions with BCCI and joined the South African Cricket Board as an administrator, South Africa had to face millions of dollars lost because BCCI shortened its tour.
In a development bordering on the absurd, the BCCI has reportedly threatened to pull out of the tour to South Africa later this year.
In 2014, they took a step that cricket would not go anywhere else from BCCI's fist.
The BCCI has given a green signal to a proposal that will give 3 countries, that's India, Australia and England, more power and more money. While the BCCI claims that this move is for the betterment of the game, it could just end up destroying world cricket as we know it.
To steal the cricket, former cricket controllers like England and Australia had help from Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Now BCCI has taken England and Australia together, and they made the big 3. Before this, ICC's revenue was distributed equally among all members. BCCI said, ICC's 75% of revenue is generated because of our viewership, and they took England and Australia with them. The 3 of them keep half of the revenue generated by ICC. BCCI takes the biggest share. ICC has only 12 full-time members, and around 96 associate members are underfunded. In 2007, there were 16 teams playing cricket in the World Cup, and in 2023, only 10 teams participated. Do you know why? In the 2007 World Cup, India was eliminated early from the tournament. They could only play 3 matches, and because of this, broadcasters had to face losses. If India had played more matches, broadcasters would have benefited. As a result, BCCI reduced the number of teams, and the format was designed in a way that India would play 9 matches. BCCI doesn't care about winning World Cups, they just care about making money. From IPL 2024, there will be no international cricket for 2.5 months. Unfortunately, the same Indians are becoming the reason for the death of this sport. Indian cricket is mostly run by Indian politicians and businessmen. The most notable example is Gujarat Cricket Association's former president, PM Modi, who gave that post to Amit Shah after becoming Prime Minister. And today, Amit Shah's son is the secretary of BCCI. Cricket shouldn't be run by politicians and businessmen. It should be run by former cricketers. I'm the biggest fan of cricket, like any other Pakistani. I can't stand to see that one private organization is controlling the growth of this sport. It's so sad. I want this sport to grow all over the world, because this sport can do many good things.